Hello, welcome to the Waste of Web Space podcast, episode 82.
Starring
Jimbo.
And Fisher.
And how are you today, Fisher? All good?
Yeah, very good, thanks, Jimbo. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all, thank you. Welcome to episode 82, everybody. And we need to give the title of our podcast today. And just before we start, I've noticed that we've managed to colour scheme quite well today, Fisher.
Yeah, both dressed in blue. Differing messages on our shirts.
But
yours
also
is
linked, in a sense.
linked to some degree. Mine is a t-shirt I got given at Freshers Week when I was a student. My all residence. It's got sort of a bit of a Boy Scout beaver look to it. Not that kind of beaver, I hasten to add. And it's got some challenges on the back of the shirt as well that we have to try and complete on our first week at university.
Very good.
I don't know if you can see certain things there. And obviously, I'm not sure what it says on your shirt. Can't quite see that just there. Oh, save water, drink beer. So, yeah, as you say, very similar message, actually.
Very similar message. Yeah. So, to all the students out there, woo woo. Do you want to do that?
To all the students out there, keep yourself inside for the next couple of weeks until you're legally allowed to go back home. And then keep yourself inside when you're at home, and then get yourself back into the Hall of Residence after Christmas and continue to spread the virus and be blamed for absolutely everything. While the government has no appreciation for the sacrifices that you've made. But nonetheless, keep up the good work.
Today, then, obviously we need to say what the episode title is today. The episode title today, then, is It's Black Friday, I'm Not in Love, / I Don't Like Cyber Mondays. It's the first episode that we've got a mega mix. I mean, I'm not Jive Bunny, but, you know, we're not far off that standard. Are you ready?
Go on, let's listen to it.
I don't care for cheaper shoes, Gucci, Prada, Jimmy Choo. Sales on ASOS or Boohoo. It's Black Friday, I'm not in love. Tell me why. I don't like Cyber Mondays. I don't like Cyber Mondays. I don't like Cyber Mondays. I want to shoot. The sales down. There you go. I don't. It's
bit of a
two mixed into one there.
Exactly. It's a bit of a strong statement to make, though. I don't like Cyber Mondays. I mean, it only happens once a year, doesn't it? Surely you can just grin and bear it and get on with it. It's a bit like all these people who say, "Oh, I don't like International Women's Day because there's no such thing as International Men's Day." Except, aside from the fact that there is an International Men's Day, but you know, just so what? Sure you can let people get on with it.
It's very different, though. I think the song refers to the commercialization of Christmas, I suppose, and the build up to it. Where I would say our message here on the Waste of Web Space podcast is, especially during these current times, I'm not going to use that word that I mentioned last week. I hate everybody using, but try shop local and support small businesses. Are there kind of maybe pubs or sort of like independent restaurants or bistros that you can get people vouchers for instead of, you know, rushing straight out to the big sort of chain pubs and so on, the Spoons and all that are going to be absolutely fine. I mean, I've missed my Spoons breakfast, I won't lie. But or can you go and get, like, you know, go to these sort of little local traders and crafters and cake makers and things like that and support them rather than going to the bigger supermarkets and stores for certain things.
Quite right. There's a new shop opening in Chapeltown, actually, isn't there? A new.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to sell craft ale and spirits and what have you.
Cigars.
Road. And cigars, yeah. Called La Di Da, I believe.
Is that something we're going to? Is that something we're going to start doing, as well as having a podcast ale? Are we also going to have a podcast cigar?
Yeah, I'm happy to have a cigar, but there's no way I'm going to light it. But I'm happy to sit there with a cigar in my mouth if needs be.
It'd look quite good with the moustache that you've got at the minute.
Good point. That'll be going on the 1st of December, unfortunately. So I have to enjoy it while I can. Obviously, I'll do that thing that when you shave. All men do it when they shave, don't they? Where it just kind of have the slight Hitler-style tash for, you know, a few minutes just in the mirror. Everyone does it. Go on. Either that, or what you do is shave half of it off, and they do that Tommy Cooper thing where you try and turn around on the side, and a moustache man on one side and a non-moustache man on the other side. You can do the comedy sketch by yourself.
Time for breaking news. Have you got any, Fisher?
Not really done much this week. Not allowed, are we? So,
yeah,
just sat at home all the time.
I suppose we both got breaking news, though, in the fact that we are going to be doing a new little video short thing, aren't we, over the course of December?
We are doing...
So,
go on. It was your idea, so you can explain more than I can.
For those that don't remember, 10 years ago, I attempted to kind of do one video every day for Advent, for the run up to Christmas. And it was just a bit of a short video, a different sort of Christmas item each day. So it could be crackers, angels, gifts, Father Christmas, Santa Claus. It's the same thing, I know. But those kind of things. And a very short sort of 3 to 4 minute video each day, me kind of rambling on about rubbish and putting a few sort of little sneaky jokes in there and so on. We even had special effects and everything, didn't we? Like I kind of reenacted the Corrie tram crash in one of the episodes because that happened around the same sort of time. So I thought 10 years later, we're going to redo it. But both of us are going to do it. Fisher's going to help me out as well because it nearly killed me last time. Because by the time it got to the 23rd of December, 24th of December and 23rd, I had a really bad flu that was starting. And on the last episode, I'm laid down recording it. I was not struggling that much. That was terrible Christmas.
Yeah, it was a tribute to Rudolph Giuliani, wasn't it? Laying down doing your video. But yeah. Obviously, you made yourself ill because of the pressure you put yourself under last year. So this year, you said to me, Fisher, why don't we both make ourselves ill for Christmas time? Let's do it together.
So we'll be posting a very short video each day and giving shout-outs to people as well for those that want it. So look out for that if you do follow our other stuff and so on. Anyway, I think it's time to get drinks, Fisher. So are you going to go first?
Can do. It's not particularly impressive or exotic. It's a can of Moretti. Well, I thought it was quite good because it's got a man with a moustache drinking beer there, so I thought it looks a bit like me. I have actually got a hat similar to what he's got. I don't know if I've got it down at the side of me or not. I think it's probably in another room. So, but nonetheless, an Italian lager. I think brewed under license by owned by Heineken. So yeah, I'll have a drink of that. I suspect you've probably got something slightly more, slightly fancier, some craft ale.
For me, mine is more, mine's very quite topical actually. So it's the four hop men of the apocalypse. So an apocalyptic beer during apocalyptic times. It's from the beer Totally Brewed, which is based in Nottingham, and it is described as. Let me try and find out for you. It's an award-winning flagship IPA, 5.2%. Just a bit about the brewery. At Totally Brewed, we like to pack our beers with flavour, because, that's the good. It's a good idea for a beer maker to do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Our fearless approach to brewing means we are not afraid to look past traditional brewing techniques and have fun with gutsy flavour combinations. And this has been brewed using old men's slippers. I'm only joking. No, this beer is Totally Brewed. So, are we ready for it?
Yeah, go on then. Have we had this before, the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse?
I don't think I've had this one before.
Have you not?
Brand new. I got it from Bière de Maison. I've improved my French over the last week.
Quite right. You've got the name wrong because it's called Maison du Bière, but never mind.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Nitpicking, just constantly nitpicking. I don't sit there nitpicking about your studio that you're sat in right there.
What's wrong with this? It's okay. We might. You sound a bit like that film director. Did you see the film director this week? Who slagged off the person's front room? Tristram Shapiro. I think he directed Alan Partridge and some series of The Peep Show and all that sort of stuff. And he was interviewing someone via Zoom for a part in either film or TV production, and he'd not muted himself on Zoom, and the person sort of was setting up on Zoom, and he said to the person who was doing the interview with, or it was said to someone at the side of him, he said, "I'll tell you what, I feel really sorry for these actors, some of these youngsters who, live in really rubbish houses." So I'm not sure, Jim, if you've got any comments on that from that terrible bedroom that you're in, or.
Hang on a minute, just one second. Oh, I know, yeah. Just put him on mute. Yeah, I know. They need to get dust around, don't they? In Uber, it's right filthy, innit? Sorry.
Same place as last time. Do you know
So
what? Yep. So do you know what's quite amusing about the person who, the young actor, who had his front room slagged off?
Go on.
Turned out it wasn't even his front room. He was in a hotel.
And he was treating that place like an hotel.
Yeah.
Enjoying this. It's my show and tell time, which I didn't really think of until it got quite close to the podcast airing. So only maybe an hour ago I managed to find something. So here then is the item in question today.
Is that a jar of sweets?
It's not a jar of sweets.
Oh, it's the kind of jar that sweets may normally come in by the looks of it.
It is, yeah. Okay.
Looks like it's got a tit on the top of it of some form.
It's not. I'll just show you. Just give you an example. There's bits of paper in there, slips of paper, lots and lots of them. Probably quite a few. So it's that. That's the item. Okay. So this item then, there's two different things to it. It came off my desk at work before the lockdown. Okay, when I went into the office to get my belongings for the last time before lockdown, original lockdown. I went and collected a bunch of things, and this was one of them. Okay, so the two possible things about this item. Number one, it is full of horse names. Okay.
All right.
Because it was part of the sweepstake that I did during, the sweepstake that I was doing for the Grand National. We never really got it sorted because I attempted to start it, and I made a special pot and everything for it. Or number two, it's full of jokes.
Okay.
Little jokes.
So we are happy and satisfied with the fact that this came from your desk before the lockdown. That's undoubtedly the case, right?
Yeah.
So I would like to know: are you normally the person in your office who arranges sweepstakes for World Cups, for Grand Nationals, that sort of stuff?
I wouldn't say I'm usually that go-to person for it. I've done it before, but it's not always me. Somebody else does like a Great British Bake Off one. I don't tend to do that one. I think they've had apprentice ones in the past, but because I don't really watch either, I've never got involved in them. But certainly like World Cup and Euros and the Grand National, I tend to get involved in. I haven't, to be fair, it was the first time I was doing the Grand National for a while because I don't normally own up for that one.
Can I tell? First time you've done it in about a year.
Sorry.
Was it the first time you've done it in about a year?
I don't normally volunteer for that one. The horses, because it's normally one of those touchy subjects, isn't it? Some people are dead against it and some people are all for it. So I tend to be quiet and then I just join in with that one. I don't tend to lead it, but because people were saying, we need to get one going, and nobody was kind of, owning up and doing it. So I thought, right, I'll step up and I'll do one.
Okay.
It materialised because it was just something that never ended up getting dealt with, to be honest.
Well, I think Grand National was cancelled this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, is the Grand National normally the first weekend in April, something like that? So it seems to me that you've started it quite early, so that's quite well organised. I'll be honest, in our office, it tends to be me that does some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I normally do the Grand National one sort of on the day before it's meant to happen.
Yeah, well, people were saying it, and they were kind of saying like, let's have a plan to sort it, because last time we tried to sort it at last minute, we didn't sell any horses, so I decided that I would. And obviously they don't always announce all the entries, do they? But you kind of roughly know which ones are going to be in it as time gets closer. So I started to prepare in advance for it, and then obviously that were a waste of time in the end. But yeah.
Okay. So the second one, you've got some jokes written on there.
Yeah.
Are these good jokes or the usual kind of tat that we would use on this podcast?
Probably
like Christmas crackers.
Really. I mean, it's up to you. I can read. For both of the examples, I can pick out and read you something if you want.
Yeah, go on then. So I want to pick out and read me what's on there. Let's say it's a horse.
Okay. Bearing in mind, I did these a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is every cloud.
Every cloud. Okay. So what's that like as a horse then?
I don't know because it's just on a bit of paper. I've got no idea.
Just the name of the horse.
Yeah.
That was definitely running the Grand National this year.
Every cloud.
Yeah.
Which is quite relevant, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Wasn't that the name one of the horses got put down last year after it fell at the third?
No, I think there was. I think there was a horse that got put down called something to do with cloud. I don't think it was every cloud.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I think it was something different.
Okay. Well, I think what you better do is probably just pick out another one and read the joke off it then, if that's okay.
Okay. Obviously, I would have prepared something in advance. Are you ready?
Yeah.
How do you organise an outer space party?
I don't know. How do you organise an outer space party?
You plan it.
Hey.
So,
well, isn't that an amazing joke? So, I suppose my other question is, if it is some jokes that you've got there, how did they become? Why have you got them?
It was part of a gift, a Secret Santa gift.
Oh, right, cool. Yeah, see, Secret Santa. So I suppose if you don't know Secret Santa, you tend to pay about £10, something like that, and you go and buy something. What other Secret Santa presents have you had in the past?
I've had books before, like books with funny pictures in. I tend to get books, not that I'm a big reader, but they tend to be like funny books, like either joke books or
like pets with Tourette's and that kind of stuff, where it's just got a picture of a dog saying "fuck" and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've had beer before in the past as well, like like some nice beer.
Yeah, it's quite good. I was going to say maybe we should do a Secret Santa, but there's only two of us, so I think it'd be fairly obvious as to who bought the present. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that I've had for Secret Santa or what I've bought. I once bought someone who was notorious for turning up late to meetings. I bought him a watch, which I thought was quite amusing. Nah, it was only it was like 10 quid worth of watch. I don't think he ever wore it or turned up on time to meetings as a result. So I'm going to make a decision, Jimbo.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I think it's too early to do your sweepstake for the Grand National. So I'm going to say that you've got some jokes. I'm going to say that one of your colleagues knows your terrible jokes and therefore decided to give you a supply of even more terrible jokes to put in a little pot.
Well done. Yeah, you are right. This is from my line manager at the time called Jen, who decided to get me. And also in there were some scratch cards, which I did win a couple of pounds from. And there were some like sweets as well. You said it looked like a bit of a sweetie jar. There was a couple of sweets in there. But yeah, basically these jokes lasted me a whole year. I had a couple of them a week, and it lasted me a whole year. So do you want me to? I've just picked. I'm going to tell some more jokes for you, and I've just picked the exact same one. So I'll attempt to do another one. So are you ready for this?
Yep.
Go. So, what did the 0 say to the 8?
Every cloud. No, what did the 0 say to the 8? Where's 9?
Nice belt.
Hey.
Next, then we've got, what do you call a fish with no eyes? Hey, well done. You got that right. Congratulations.
Oh. Sorry. No eye fish. No, that's a deer. Sorry, that's a deer with no eyes, isn't it? Yeah.
How do you make a tissue dance?
I don't know. How do you make a tissue dance?
You put a little boogie in it. I mean, I'm just giving you a right answer sound effect then, rather than I should, last one then. Last one, okay.
Yeah. So sorry, just to point out, Jimbo, I would expect you will get the right answer. Bear in mind, you've got it written down in front of you.
Oh, this is quite good. This is topical. Speaking of horses, what did the Clydesdale give the pony? Why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water?
I don't know. Why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water?
Because he was a little horse.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. So, did you enjoy that, Fisher?
Oh, it was very good, Jimbo. Well done. And I'm sure your colleagues have thoroughly enjoyed listening to some of those jokes throughout the course of the year. When you said you used them for about a year, what exactly did you do with them? Did you just randomly open it at your desk and just read out a joke for people every now and again, a couple of times a week?
Yeah, and I had another container where I put the ones that I'd done, and then at the end of the year, I put them all back into the original jar, and I was going to sort of give them to somebody else to use, and it was a kind of a bit of a pick me up kind of thing. It's a really good idea. So yeah, it was I don't want to throw them away because they're always useful, aren't they? You never know when you might need a good joke. Well, every Sunday for us at the minute.
If we're struggling a bit on the podcast at some point, can you just dip into there and take one out and read it out, please?
So, Fisher, you've got a feature for us now, a little quiz.
I have, yeah. I mean, I'll just wait one moment because at the same time, I'm trying to multitask here. I'm trying to keep an eye on my fantasy football. England are playing in the cricket as well. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to be trying to keep tabs on and get on with.
Oh, I've got a fantasy football team ongoing as well. Are you on the Premier League one?
Yeah, fantasy Premier League. Yeah.
How are you doing? How many points you on? This is good podcasting. This. How many points you on?
Well, this week or in total?
Total.
In total, let me just have a quick check. I'm surprisingly good at this for someone who knows very little about football.
Same. Yeah.
I'm on 554 points. How about you?
Absolutely no word of a lie. I am on 554 points.
Oh, well done. Well, the great minds think alike. Oh, should we just shout up to the camera?
Hold on. Can you see that? Or can you?
Can I see that? Can you see mine? I think, yeah, go into 554. Well done.
Yeah. That is good.
It is. I am exceptionally impressed there.
What's your team's name?
Fisher's Footballers. No, yours isn't called that as well, is it?
No. Well, I thought you'd have thought of something else. Mine is Alan's Deep Bath.
Oh, very good. What's that got to do with Jimbo?
The footballer Alan.
Okay. So you spell Alan with 2 L's.
Do you want to know some of the ones in my group? If there's any, there's not really that many good ones this time, to be honest. But there's I like the ones that play on footballers' names. Do you know what I mean? So we've got all managers' names. Lee Wallace has gone for Wet and Wilder.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one in that group. But then in the other ones that I'm in, we've got Keen as Mustard.
Yep.
Social Distin Son. Social Distance. Pope and Glory. We've got Mario by Atelli FC.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, a few more because there'll be some more good ones here. Oh, someone at the top of one of my work leagues is a Sterling Job.
Oh, yeah.
McGin and Tonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sesk on the Beach.
Yeah, Fabregas, yeah.
Yeah. Top of the Clops.
Mm-hmm.
Curl Up and Dyer. Cliche, is it Cliche and Collect? How do you say his name? Cliche and Collect, is it? What do you call it?
Yeah, Gail Clichy, the former Arsenal left back, Arsenal Man City player.
Somebody's gone with similar to me, Alan sort of thing. And someone at the bottom's gone for Netflix and Chilwell.
Oh, very good.
They're good names, aren't they? That could have been a feature. So,
what have we got in ours? One person. Well, for a few years, I managed to convince my wife to call her team Fiorentina Turner, which I thought was quite a good one. I would say that one of the lads in our cricket team, fantasy football, he calls his team Ajax Trees Down. That was quite good. So yeah, that's some of the fun that we get on that front. So well done on getting 554 points thus far.
We're gonna have got the league now.
Yeah, just the two of us in it. Us two and Daryl, and that can be it.
What's your current score for this week? Then we can sort of say who's in front at the minute as things stand.
I've got 12 this week.
27.
27.
Yeah.
I'm pleasure playing this week.
Well, I've still got 4 more to play.
Oh, all right. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 more to play.
Well, I've got a fair few left to play. I've got 7 to play, I think.
Oh, well, there we go.
8, including my captain. So we'll see where we are at the end of this week.
We've just made a whole new feature up.
Exactly.
People are not going to be interested in this, though. But anyway, for those that are interested in fantasy football, there you go. Fisher, let's get on with your feature.
Sorry, that was the feature. I can't believe I've just tricked you into doing it. So my feature is
this week.
Well, I was intrigued, Jimbo, to look a little bit at the COVID vaccine, and I think there was something to do with it being. I'm right. I've not read a huge amount about it, but I think I'm right in saying that one of the COVID vaccines produced by AstraZeneca and Oxford University, its dosage worked better when they gave you not as much of a dosage. I think it was originally 70% effective, but if you gave you less, it ended up being 90% effective. And also, there is a vaccine that's partly made from, is it made from chimpanzee feces? That contains the antibody in it? No, I might be making this up, but I'm sure that's what I'd heard. Which did make me wonder whether when you go to Knowsley Safari Park, whether you've inadvertently, if you check the top of your roof, you might be just immune to the coronavirus because of it. I'm just going to have a quick check as to whether or not this is part of the vaccine. I've just googled the word chimpanzee poop, see what comes up. Not much as yet, so I might have completely misheard that.
No, I think I've heard something that there is some odd things within the vaccine.
Yeah. But so apparently it works better with a lower dosage. So it made me start thinking a little bit about some of the things that effectively have been designed by accident, as well as a general thing that this has been developed by scientists at Oxford University. So once again, as a country, we are very, very reliant on what's going to be done to us by a bunch of pricks from Oxford University. So anyway, when Percy Baron Spencer was working on magnetrons, what happened? Did he notice that a piece of iron with some electrical wire around it was attracting metal to it, and he'd inadvertently created the electromagnet? Or he melted a chocolate bar that was in his pocket and realised he'd invented the microwave?
I don't know if I've heard this story before. I think.
I'll be honest, I'd never heard of it, so I don't know if you have or not.
I'm sure that the invention of the microwave was done accidentally or not quite as you'd expect, I think. So I'm going to go with that one, although maybe I've completely made that up. I'm sure that there is something in that. But then the first sounds more advanced. So I'm going to go with the second one.
Okay, you'd be correct. Well done.
Did he put like a did he put like a sort of curry in a plastic container in his pocket?
He then had to invent the washing machine afterwards. He got chocolate all in his pockets that had gone everywhere. Might be difficult to explain to his wife as well when he got home, but there we go. One thing something slightly interesting about a microwave is that you read about that. I think there's a scientist who worked at, I don't know if he worked at NASA, and there was a problem with they're doing some monitoring, looking for extraterrestrial life and all this sort of stuff, and he realised at pretty much the same time every day there was some really strange infrared waves that were kind of getting picked up and microwaves getting picked up. It turned out that it was a fellow person who was on the night shift was cooking his tea in the microwave at the same time every night, and that was giving out these signals that are picking up and confusing him quite a bit. So next up, what did Doctor?
Apparently they had an argument, didn't they, about because obviously they invented the microwave, but this one bloke was saying, it was me because I invented it, because it was me that melted the chocolate bar in the pocket, and the other bloke was like, well, no, I was doing this research on it first. It's not me, And anyway, the argument got really heated.
Next up, what did Dr. Spencer Silva invent whilst looking for strong adhesives? Was it the prick stick? People were generally impressed that a glue had been created that didn't stick to the inside of the tube. Or was it the post-it note? He was impressed that it made an adhesive that could stick to paper without being removed, that could be removed without marking it.
So,
and he thought, I'll tell you what, this is fantastic. I'll just leave a note and stick it to my monitor as to something that I can do with this.
I once got some a jar of glue mixed up with some lip balm, and you obviously can imagine what had happened. And my friend said to me, James, what happened? My lips were sealed. I couldn't tell him anything. So you're going back to your thing here. You're saying that he was surprised that the glue had stuck to the paper, so that's how he discovered it. I don't know. Remind me about the second one.
So the second one is that it was impressed that he created an adhesive where you could stick it on the post-it note, put on the top of it, stick it to the paper, and it doesn't sort of.
Yeah.
You can take it off without leaving a mark on there, can't you?
Mm.
And obviously the first one they got a glue, but it didn't stick to the inside of the tube, even though it was oxidized.
So the second one was basically about the invention of a post-it note.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that one, I think.
He invented the post-it note. Congratulations, yes, he did.
Have you done the coin flipping today, by the way, to decide which is going to be A and B answers and so on?
I did a random number generator on Google search engine. But yeah, I've effectively done that. So there might be I can't remember how it's kicked out, but yeah, it could be quite a strange pattern developing potentially. Apparently he ran out of post-it notes shortly after inventing them, and was unable to write down where he needed some more of them to get from or whatever. So I didn't tell that joke very well. Effectively, I was going to make a thing about run out of post-it notes, but didn't have a post-it note to write it down on there. It needed more to get. But I think you get what I was trying to say.
Yes.
Next up, in 1930, Ruth Gaverson Wakefield created what in her kitchen? Was it beef burgers? She was short on food whilst she had guests and decided to put a burger between two slices of bread. And that was the first person to create beef burgers. Or was it chocolate chip cookies? She decided to add broken chocolate to some biscuits, and this resulted in making chocolate chip cookies.
Now, I know this one. And the reason I know this one is because it's already featured in the Waste of Web Space podcast.
Oh, has it?
It might have been a feature about cookies or biscuits or baking or something like that. And I did think when you told me you were doing this quiz, I remembered straight away when you said, I'm going to do a quiz about things that we invented accidentally, chocolate chip cookies were the thing that kind of sprung up in my mind. So I think I'm going to go with the cookies.
Well, of course, you're all right. Well done.
I tell you what, last Sunday after the podcast, I ate way too much. You can get cookie dough, can't you? The ice type of cookie dough sort of thing. And I had way too much of it. Absolutely way too much of it. I overdosed. I've given myself a symbol again. Yeah.
Well done. Next up, in 1938, Roy J. Plunkett was working on manufacturing refrigerants for fridges and air conditioning units when he ended up inventing what? Was it? He noticed he produced some heat-resistant white powder and therefore invented Teflon. Or he realised that the pressurised gas used in fridges could also be used in aerosols. Good job to pronounce that word right as well, to be fair. Does look a bit different when you're trying to read it out of a piece of paper with aerosols. Or
is it C, he realised that he invented a hideout for the British Prime Minister? So
am I the only one who looks at Boris Johnson when he's doing his self-isolating thing and just wonder how rubbish his webcam is? I mean, surely, if you look, he's not even got HD. He just sits there in front of some grey wall with a really faded old camera. I mean, have we not got better technology in this country for the Prime Minister to use?
So I think with this one, the Teflon, isn't Teflon the sort of famous or infamous for being basically what, or not just Teflon line. Obviously, I want to be careful what I say, but isn't Teflon the thing that turned out to be quite bad for you and poisonous? And it kind of there's films about it and everything. I think is it Blackwater something? I don't know, something like that. There's a film and it talks about how it's basically some of the chemicals that are in Teflon are in every living thing on the planet and have been seen to have caused certain illnesses. And there was massive sort of lawsuits and things like that. Is that the right thing I'm talking about?
Well, I think there's been a lot of people who've tried to criticise Teflon and sort of given it a lot of criticism and thrown a lot of stuff at it, but none of it stuck. I don't know. Are you not thinking about oil?
No, And it might not have just been Teflon alone, but I think it's the thing that what was originally in Teflon. That it is the chemical that, or part of the chemicals that make non-stick things and water resistance and things like that. It's in lots of stuff, but there's some really interesting films if you want to have a look. There's one that was out just maybe about a year ago or something, and it's a really interesting film about a lawyer who's taking on these big organisations and this one particular town that were really affected by it because of the chemical waste and things like that as well. So it's either the person who invented Teflon, or he realised, what was the second one again?
That's the pressurized gas used in fridges in aerosols.
So I reckon it is the first one, and maybe that's why. Maybe if it was invented by accident, they really didn't realise what were going into these things or whatever. So let's go with the first one.
Well done, you'd be correct.
Got them all right so far again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I usually, before I open the fridge, I usually knock on the fridge door first, just in case. Just in case there's a salad dressing.
Hey.
There we go.
Thank you. You can put that one back in your jar for next year.
These have been really good.
What did pharmacist John Pemberton create in the 1880s? Was it he was trying to create a substance to help drug addicts wean themselves off cocaine and end up creating Coca-Cola? Or he was trying to create a liquid to melt frozen material, but he soon realised the solution he created was antibacterial and effectively created bleach?
Oh, okay. So I've got a feeling that Coca-Cola was created accidentally. I'm sure I've heard that before, but it's not to say that this story is the particular true one or whatever.
Doesn't look very drinkable, does it? Coca-Cola, first sight.
No.
Thought. Something black, fizzy. It doesn't look. Particularly if you're used to drinking water, which is clear, then all of a sudden might drink something that's completely different colour to what you're used to drinking.
And then upgrade to Guinness.
Yeah. Oh, put a bit of squirt cream on top of it, and off you
go. I reckon it's the first one then, and it's Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Coca-Cola, yes. Well done. You'd be right. How many have we got left? I think we've got 4 left by the looks of it. So in 1826, what did John Walker create when mixing chemicals? And it's not sort of spiced brandy. It's not Johnny Walker, I hasten to add. Johnny Walker makes it's not nothing to do with him. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Is it he left a stick in the chemicals he had mixed, scraped them off? This resulted in him creating a match. Or he noticed the solution had risen when he returned to it, thus he created baking powder.
All right, okay. So a match, as in like what you light a fire with?
Yeah, as in a box of matches to light fire with.
And what year was this?
This was 1826. So, you weren't around at that time, hopefully.
Would they have been around in it? Probably about maybe. How would they have started a fire? Yeah, I don't know.
You have to put sticks together, didn't
they? Than that, maybe matches might have been around longer than that, though. When was the gunpowder plot?
Gunpowder plot was 1608, I think. I don't know. Let me double check this. I could be way out, but I think I'm gonna say gunpowder plot 1608. Let me know if I'm right, or have I got to check the answer?
Oh, do you want me to find out for you?
Go on then, because you've got the symbols, haven't you?
Yeah. So gunpowder plot. Are we having another a separate quiz in the middle of your quiz here?
Yeah. Oh, so I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Oh, right. Never mind. When was it?
1605. Well, not far off. Far off.
In that case, then I'm going to go for the bleach one because I think matches might have been around a lot longer than that. So I'm going to go for bleach.
Incorrect. He created the match.
See, when I think about it too much, I end up getting the question wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that he met his match.
You're happy with that one, aren't you?
Yeah, okay. Obviously, we all know that bleach was invented by Donald Trump in 2020. Yeah. So, what was Viagra originally designed to treat? When the inventor...
Sorry for that delay.
Sorry, not appropriate time, because I've just mentioned Viagra as well. What was Viagra originally designed to treat? When the inventor noticed it got some fairly distinct side effects. Front effects. Was it hay fever or angina?
So, what side effects did they realise that it?
Well, it was a drug that was designed to treat either hay fever or angina, and I think.
Oh, and that's when they realised what it also could do for
Yeah. And they said, "I tell you what, you're really liking these drugs, aren't you?" I mean, honestly. Isn't on the subject of Viagra, isn't it? Not that it particularly affects either of us, hopefully, but hasn't it come down in price quite a lot? Isn't there something saying that when things are invented, you've got some kind of patent on it for 20 years or something like that, or 25 years, and after that, then it can just be used by the general market, and you don't get the same sort of licensing and price restrictions. So I think Viagra is a lot cheaper now because it's no longer just manufactured by. Is it manufactured by Pfizer? Who were the first ones to do the COVID vaccine?
Is that right? Okay.
I think so.
Well,
could be wrong, but
this is out of all the questions so far, I think this is the hardest. So.
Go on, Jimbo. Stiff up a lip.
Yeah. I'm going to stick my neck out and everything else, and I'm going to say that it was for treating angina, I think.
Yes, you'd be correct. I think it was something to do with trying to affect the blood flow or something like that. And yeah, obviously people realised that there was
sent the blood to the wrong place.
Pretty much, yeah. For want of a better word. So, in the 1980s, what did a San Francisco ophthalmologist create? Do you know what an ophthalmologist is?
I have no idea. Something to do with your eyes?
To do with your eyes, yes.
Is it?
Oh. It is, yeah. You don't get a stick sound for that, by the way. Was it? It was looking through the side of a milk bottle that was made by hand with different thicknesses. This gave him the idea for varifocal lenses. Or he was trying to provide a treatment for being cross-eyed, and he invented Botox.
So, the other day, I went to... Sorry, this is unrelated, but I went to Meadowhall the other day. And this is on Friday evening. 7:30 Friday evening. And I walked around Meadowhall filming on my phone saying, look how quiet it is, and Christmas shopping at this time, it's brilliant, you know. This year, Christmas shopping's brilliant because obviously everything's in lockdown, everything's closed. And I put a sort of caption saying Christmas shopping's brilliant, everyone's getting stuff from Poundland this year. And then in brackets, I put, actually, I'm just here to get my eyes tested. And somebody replied, all right, Dominic Cummings.
Hey.
I'll give a shout out to Jade. Jade, by the way, she's called. I'm not saying she's called Jade, by the way. She's called Jade, by the way. And she hears that all the time, so she'll not find that bit funny. But I thought her joke was very clever, very funny, and very witty. So give big shout out to Jade. So either varifocal lenses by looking through bottles of different thicknesses, or
try to provide a treatment for being cross-eyed, and the treatment end up basically inventing Botox.
Right. Okay. Oh, this is tough. I think it's going to be the varifocal lenses one. I think.
You'll be wrong. You invented Botox.
So how did that happen then?
I presume he tried to inject something into someone's sort of face or eyes to, hopefully cure the cross-eyed nature of certain people, and then realised that their face basically wouldn't move as a result of it because it paralysed it.
But surely, surely it was like it wouldn't have been very good Botox, is what I'm saying.
How do you mean?
Well, it wouldn't have been if it was the first time it had been done. Like the Botox probably wouldn't have been the effect that somebody who wants Botox would have wanted. It might have been a bit of a bodge job sort of thing. Do you reckon?
Well, Possibly, yeah.
Because they do say Botox is overrated, and it'll never make the headlines.
Hey. Yeah, I think initially when he showed the results, the person's face was completely and utterly expressionless. So it worked quite well. So there we go. Next, hang on, I've just swiped off Jimbo by accident. I've swiped me thing off. I've swiped me app off. I've closed it down by accident. I can open it back up there. I know how to use the phone and everything. Last question. What did Alfred Fleming invent in the 1960s? Was it what we nowadays call bubble wrap, but it was originally designed to be used as wallpaper? Or is it what we nowadays call memory foam mattresses? He was annoyed at his firm-absorbing product that wasn't much use, so he punched it and then realised that it took the impact quite well before slowly retaking its shape.
So it's either bubble wrap or
memory
foam, which is like, so the Discovery, because that's what people sleep on, and you can have memory foam pillows and beds and things like that.
So it molds to your shape, but then sort of comes back to as it should be afterwards. Yeah.
Because obviously, some countries are only saying, they're really strict about the coronavirus and stuff this Christmas, aren't they? And they're saying, not only can you not spend Christmas with certain members of your family in some countries take it to the extreme, saying that, you can't even send gifts to each other. But you can send gifts in bubble wrap, because then they can be part of your bubble and all that kind of thing. That's a safer way of doing it. But no, let's go then with, I think it's a memory foam one.
You will be incorrect.
Oh.
Alfred Fielding, sorry, I don't know if I called him Fleming actually. Alfred Fielding and Mark Chavness did invent bubble wrap on purpose, but when they made it, they intended it for use as wallpaper and not as packing material. However, their bubbly wallpaper proved very unsuccessful. Can't imagine why.
Imagine what kids would have been like around that. We stopped popping the walls.
Exactly, yeah. Because once you popped it, it's kind of lost all its effect, really, hasn't it? Proves to be unsuccessful. The two entrepreneurs then decided to pivot and market their product as greenhouse insulation. And then later, in the 1960s, as protective packaging. So there we go. So that was the end of that quiz. Did you enjoy that, Jimbo? I think you did pretty well.
I think I got maybe only 3 wrong, did I? Was it 2 or 3 wrong? Yeah. Happy with that. Thank you for that, Fisher. And we're going to take a short break now. We're going to have to apologise again, because we know we've had these adverts that Daryl's been sending us these last few weeks. Well, he keeps changing his jobs because they're not going that well, are they? So we just got to make it clear that if anyone listened to the podcast last week and you heard Daryl does DIY, he's now stopped doing DIY. So please don't contact him about DIY, but he's moved on to something else.
Hello, it's Daryl, and I'm no longer doing DIY after a misunderstanding when a customer asked me to have a look at her back doors. I've got a new job working as a car mechanic, and I'm having a great time, although I'm still leaving myself open to the misunderstanding about the customer's back doors. Have you got a problem with your big end? I could apply some tender love and care in order to nurse it back to life. Have you had a breakdown? I'm your man. Although if it's a mental breakdown, then I'll sort you out in a few weeks' time when I'll be working as a psychologist. Would you like me to diagnose the cause of your flat tyre? There's no pressure. I can do anything, and yesterday's job involved fixing a couple of damaged horns. But after a bit of work, I was able to present my customers with some fantastic hooters. No job is too big or too small for me. In particular, I specialise in measuring your oil levels, so contact Daryl, your dipstick expert.
Who knows what Daryl is going to be up to next week? So on to the news then, Fisher.
Yeah, at least Daryl's working. Good on him in this difficult time. He's using his nous. He's going out. He's doing different things, and so good on the lad. I'm not sure. By the way, I'm not sure how you're doing in have you got any fantasy football team, Jimbo?
I've got. Who've we got going? I've got Ward Prowse, who seems to be doing well. I think, has he scored today?
He scored and assisted.
And assisted. I've got nine points there. For Ward Prowse.
Bruno Fernandes has scored.
Oh, as I had him in. I used my free hit last week, you see, and I had him in my team. So yeah, I'm on 30 at the minute.
I'm languishing quite a bit behind. I'm on 18 at the moment, but I've got Vardy as captain to play tomorrow against Fulham. So I think who you captain this week?
Salah.
Didn't do much, did he?
12 points. Yeah, got an assist, and that was about it.
That's not too bad. At least it's a return.
So what we going then with news? What's going off?
What has been going off?
You want to start with the big news?
Go on then.
Maradona, absolutely, such an amazing, gifted, and talented individual. Personally, I thought the best work were Material Girl, but yeah, sad loss to the world of music.
No, you're wrong. Maradona was a football player.
Oh,
well, I think you're thinking of Madonna.
Oh, okay.
Who was in Evita and various other things. Obviously, there is a connection there in terms of country, but Maradona, well-known football player, pretty much single-handedly knocked England out of the 1986 World Cup. That was an unintentional point, actually, when I said single-handedly, by the way. Knocked England out of the 1986 World Cup. He died this week. There has been 3 days of national mourning in the country where he's adored the most.
Oh, in Argentina?
No, Scotland.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, it's been obviously he passed away. If you've watched, we're too young to have watched him play live, I think, because he went out for a 1994 World Cup, didn't he? Failed a drugs test. I think that's probably kind of his last sort of playing days, really. I think we're a bit too young to remember him from there. But if you watch footage, what an outstanding player he was at the time. As I say, I mean, this thing with the hand of God. How did the referee not notice? How did the referee not think, hang on, that little player who's like 5'5" managed to outjump a goalkeeper with his outstretched arm? And I know Maradona had big hair, he had that big cushiony hair, but how did he manage to? But the other thing as well, though, are we not slightly impressed that he actually managed, just with his hand, to push the ball over the keeper and get it into net? I mean, it takes quite a bit of skill, doesn't it?
I mean, there's other sports he could take up, playing that like that, I suppose, or could have taken up.
Yeah.
I even saw that, I don't know how true this is, but allegedly, some funeral directors had taken selfies with him. I don't know if you've seen this, and that. I don't know how true that is, and also then the news that apparently those funeral directors have not ended up in a very good way, as in a couple of them have ended up being killed. Is that true, or is that just something that is rumoured, or?
I've got an alibi for the whole thing, so there's no point in asking me as to quite what went on. I don't know. I'd seen the things about some of the funeral parlour workers having selfies with him. I didn't hear any further bits about it as to whether or not they'd been killed as a result of it. But I think he was much revered and a real legend in Argentina.
Yeah,
worshipped pretty much wherever he went. I don't think we've got any sportsmen particularly like that really anymore. I think if you go to India and you see Sachin Tendulkar, a well-known cricket player there, it's probably a similar kind of thing. Maybe David Beckham was the closest we've had in the last few years.
Yeah,
probably not to say Beckham was an amazingly good player, albeit was a good player. Not quite in Maradona and Pelé and Messi's league, but in terms of having that sort of appeal to people. So there we go. Very, very sad.
Well, at least we're having Marcus Rashford rising up and having an appeal, but in a different sort of way. He's not a bad footballer at all. People might not say he's one of the best footballers England have ever had, but he's certainly in terms of the way he carries himself and all that. So that's a good way for footballs to be going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously if you are a football fan, then you may be able to go back into the stadium fairly soon, if you've seen that.
I've seen, yeah.
If you live in Tier 1, I think you have up to 4,000 people in your stadium. If you're in Tier 2, then up to 2,000 people. Obviously, it creates a bit of a mismatch because there's certain clubs in the Premier League, sort of Newcastle, Sheffield United, Leeds, who can't have any fans at all.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Sheffield comes out of Tier 3 and into Tier 1 or whatever it is to be allowed football fans back in stadiums, there'll be plenty more tiers. That I'm afraid, if you are a fan of any of the Sheffield football teams at the minute, Yeah, there'll be plenty of tears because it's not going so well, is it? I think we're both struggling for wins and points, aren't we? So
pretty much. I had someone say they watched Sheffield Wednesday play yesterday. It was the worst game they'd ever seen in about 20 years. A 0-0 draw against.
Yeah. You know that thing. There's something I refer to as new manager syndrome that normally kicks in when you get a new manager and you have a right good spell of games and wins and so on. Yeah. Absolutely non-existent on this occasion, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, shall we?
Exactly, we'll see what happens. But it's great news if you're one of the London clubs, for example. You can have some fans back in the stadium. So great news for Tottenham, great news for Chelsea, great news for Fulham, great news for West Ham. In fact, some West Ham fans have already been singing "We're Forever" in our social bubbles.
Very good.
So there we go. So that's that. And obviously, we are talking about the tiering system. So we had a tiering system. There are a few places in Tier 3, South Yorkshire, Manchester, Liverpool, I think parts of the North East as well, parts of West Yorkshire. And then Boris Johnson said, let's have a national lockdown circuit. He didn't want to say circuit breaker because Keir Starmer had suggested a circuit breaker. So he said, just have a national short, sharp lockdown for 4 weeks. Yeah, I know it's 2 weeks longer than we would need if we'd done it a couple of weeks ago. But, let's have 4 weeks and we'll try and improve things. We'll try and get things better ready for Christmas. And we'll try and improve things. So we've come out of the wholesale lockdown, and now we've got about half the country in Tier 3 as opposed to what we had before. And basically, in Tier 1 is just the Isle of Wight and Cornwall. So I'm not quite sure what that tells you.
And they've even changed the rules, haven't they, as well, so that now in Tier 3 you can't even go to a pub now and have food. I think in Tier 3 before, was it the case that you could have food in Tier 3 before?
Yeah.
But the full lockdown meant you couldn't. But now Tier 3, now you can't have food in the pub at all. Pubs aren't open. Tier 2, they've had a bit of a change as well, hasn't they? In the sense that now you can only you have to leave apparently in Tier 2. Leave the pub once you've finished your food, once you've had your meal. So Tier 2's kind of got more strict as well. I saw a picture that someone had posted online of a pub who had. It was probably obviously made up, but a pub would put a, like real ale and the draft ale sort of sign that they have on the front of the beer pump saying substantial meal.
Yeah.
So they were serving pints of substantial meals, which I found quite funny. But yeah.
Apparently,
imagine what it's going to be like though when they do let people go back to pubs, and they were saying that one of the other rules that have changed is that so pubs will have to stop serving alcohol at 10, but you get an hour to finish your drinks. 9:59 p.m. Can I have 49 pints, please? Imagine all the people in the pub who would be trying to, drink as much as it's going to be the craziest hour ever. The people are just going to line them up, aren't they?
I remember going to an event a few years ago. I don't know if I told you about this, but it was terrible. It really was.
Season cricket dinner. Match?
No. It was worse than that. I'll tell you. This was kind of place that definitely needed a new manager, by the way, but. And we turned up. There were about probably 250 people at this event, maybe, and there were only 2 or 3 people working on the bar, and everyone turned up at the same time and just couldn't get served. And throughout the night, they just didn't have enough beer. They kept running out, didn't have any change, didn't have anything, and getting served was so difficult because, without being funny, you got loads of people there, and it annoys me so much when you go to some of these events that they don't just have people serving drinks and getting drinks out to people. The markups you get on selling drinks, and that's what people want to do. They want to just get drinks. So all you could really do is they had an offer on getting pictures of lager or cider. You just have to buy 4 pints in one go and take the jug back to the table with you and drink it out of that because that's all you could do. It's so terribly run. But the very frustrating thing was that also on the same night was a wedding in one of the other rooms, and I just felt so sorry for the person whose wedding it was in case they had the same experience that we had. I mean, that would be so unfair and so unfortunate.
Coronavirus has been this, it's causing all sorts of people, with the restrictions and everything, to have to change their life and what they're doing and, missing out on the hobbies and so on. Don't know if you saw, but 80 people were found not social distancing at a swingers club in New York.
Really?
just the other day. And the reason the police found out about it is because they heard loud music coming from the swingers club, which was being played so that you couldn't hear the sex noises. So that kind of alerted the police to it. Now, when the police set on the way there, and the sirens were going. That caused a premature evacuation in these. And and the first couple of police who got there on the scene realized this was serious when they heard screaming and loud noises and really unusual noises, and they realized that's when the situation had climaxed, so they called for backup. But anyway, all I can hope is that they disinfected the keys when they put them into the bowl. The bowl of disinfectant or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, we were commenting recently that there was an incident in Sheffield where 2 police officers turned up to someone's house and they saw him playing golf and joined in playing golf. So it's a good job the same police officers didn't turn up to this swingers club and also want to do the same thing. So want to get involved. Yeah. So yes, there we go. A very, very strange story. I mean, I suppose a lot of these people were taking safety precautions, and a fair few of them were wearing masks at the time, but they've been doing that for years, to be fair. So there we go. What else has been going on in the news? Should we talk about
the cutting foreign aid? Speaking of points being cut, and Sheffield United lingering at the bottom on 1 point, and Sheffield Wednesday, not doing too well either. Should we talk about the cut in foreign aid?
Yeah. The Conservative had a manifesto pledge that was that we're going to spend 0.7% of our GDP on foreign aid, and we've decided to cut it already. Less than when was the last election? It was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Election. So yeah, within a year of being elected, they've already gone back on their.
I wonder what convenient excuse they've used.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it's what does interest me is that's how they treat people from overseas countries, but I suspect it probably won't be long before they treat people in our own country with the same contempt. To be fair, Rishi Sunak did quite clearly come out and say, look, the situation is we used to give 0.7% of our gross domestic product to overseas aid. We've reduced that to 0.5%, which is a difference of 0.2 percentage points. However, the good news is, because our economy is functioning that badly, that 0.2% of it isn't that much anyway. Obviously, he hasn't said that, I hasten to add, but that's... would be something that would be quite feasible, given that I think I was reading that apparently we have one of the high per capita we've got one of the highest death tolls in the developed world. We have also spent more money trying to fight it, and also I think we've possibly got less bed space in the NHS, something along those lines. I think if you look at the amount of money we've spent to try and combat the crisis and the actual effectiveness of it, it is quite grim reading.
Isn't one of the problems that they built these new hospitals, these emergency sort of, the Nightingale hospitals and stuff like that, and then they realised we actually haven't encouraged enough people to go into nursing over these last 10 years. Where we've been cutting the nursing bursary and making it quite difficult for student nurses, who kind of work for free during their entire. So they've not really made it very appealing roles to go into, have they? So although they've got these spaces, these hospital spaces, they haven't actually got the staff to man it. And I think that's one of the issues, isn't it? So anyway, moving on.
Well, no, I was just going to say that obviously one of the key ploys in naming these as the Nightingale hospitals was they were hoping to tempt Florence Nightingale out of retirement to work in there, but unfortunately she's
and out of the grave. So. Yeah. Not only are the Conservative government working us to the grave, to pensions and so on, they also want us to continue working when we're in the grave as well. Yeah. Fair enough.
The ungrateful bastard didn't even bother to come and work for us, apparently. Never mind. Florence Nightingale.
What I do want to mention to finish with is that a woman, I don't know if you saw this, smashed £500 worth of bottles of wine in an Aldi in Stevenage.
500 bottles of wine.
It's a bizarre video or pictures of her just sort of going to the shelves and just smashing bottles all over the floor in this Aldi in Stevenage. And I think it was some of the papers that picked this up were typically the papers that like to demonize people and so on. I think it's important we remember not to do that. This woman could have been going through anything. It's important that she wasn't keeping it bottled up. Obviously the wine wasn't being kept bottled up either. It's worth pointing out. And the staff, to be fair, they tried to calm the situation down. They saw all this, they saw all this sort of, wine and red wine and everything sort of all over the floor. So they started chucking oranges and lemonade on it, and that just made the woman sangria. Should we move on?
Well, no, obviously she knocked a lot of red wine onto the floor, covered it in red wine, so they had to put some white wine on their tray and help clear it up.
I was thinking this. I spilt a little bit of Belgian blue yesterday,
Right.
which is the same sort of colour as red wine. If you've seen Belgian blue, I was wondering, do I just chuck a Farmer's Blonde on it to get the coffee? I would just go get a bottle of Farmer's Blonde and chuck that on. Will that help? Anyway, never mind.
The same thing happened to me once, actually. I did the same thing in Marks and Spencer's. Chucked 500 quid worth of wine on the floor. I was just taking it out in a basket, trying to put it on checkout, and just dropped the bottle. So, one of those things that happens, unfortunately.
Okay, so Fisher, it's been Black Friday, and I thought that I would do a different type of little quiz today for you, a bit like a higher or lower type thing, okay? So welcome to Jimbo Wilmshurst's higher or lower / the price is right or wrong on Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend. I hope you're all doing okay. Nice to see you, see you nice. All that. Are you ready to go, Fisher?
Yeah, but I can just point out, it's quite evident that you really miss being a radio presenter.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, playing those jingles. Yeah, I can tell you're absolutely loving that. Sort of playing the jingles, doing the quizzes and all that sort of stuff.
Right. What I've got then is I've got 20 items that are historically weird Black Friday items, okay? And I've got some price attached to them. Now, they're not all necessarily the price that they were on Black Friday, because it depends how, whether they were reported on being the price that they actually are or the sale price. But these are all items that did feature in a Black Friday sale, okay? So what I've got here is I'm going to read each one, and I want you to give me the price. And what do you think? Do you think if you get within £2 of it, either way, I should give you like a bonus point or whatever? And I want to kind of keep score if I can today as well, and actually try and keep score for how well you do. Is that all right? Yeah. So you'll get a score for if you get the price, the higher or lower, right? Mm-hmm. And then you'll get an extra point if you get within £2 of the actual price. Is that okay? You've also got some extras as well, okay? So your extras are, I want you to be able to name the item out of all of these 20 items, one of them's made up. So at the end, I want you to think about which of these items I've made up. So maybe as you're going along, make a note of something that you think doesn't sound real, and at the end you can decide which one you think doesn't sound real. And then I also want you to pick out an item that is real, but it's no longer on sale. So one of these items is no longer on sale. Okay.
There's only a few things for us to think about them.
Yeah. And okay. Are you ready? By the way, there's nothing over £100 on this list either. Okay, so just to give you an idea of prices. So
are the prices all sort of rounded to the nearest pound?
Yeah, I had to change. I had to transfer them from American dollars as well. So in English money. Are we ready then? Okay. Yep. So your first Black Friday sale item was a Nicolas Cage cushion. Basically a cushion with Nicolas Cage's face on it. How much do you think that was? Obviously you got no higher or lower points to score here, but how much do you think it might have been?
Okay. Now obviously it'd have got Nicolas Cage's face on it, but obviously if it was from that film Face Off, then could you change it? And was it John Travolta who played the other person in the film? Yeah. You have John Travolta's face on there. Yeah, so if I was up on the Nicolas Cage films a bit better, I'd have worked that joke in a bit more seamlessly, but never mind. How big does it say how big the cushion was? Do we know?
I think it was kind of like a standard sort of size cushion, really.
So I'm going to say...
Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to say £18.
£18. And unfortunately, I can't give you any points for anything there because we didn't have a higher or lower part for that one. But also, you didn't come within £2. £23. Not too far off. Decent guess. So, next then, a frog urinal game, which is basically a kid's urinal that fits on the wall and you pee into the frog's mouth. obviously for boys. Is that going to be higher or lower than a Nicolas Cage cushion? First of all,
I think there's quite a few bits there, so I think it's going to be higher.
You think it's going to be higher? You would be wrong. It's lower than the £23 of a Nicolas Cage cushion. But how much do you think it is? Now you've got a bit more an idea how much you could go with. So you know it's going to be below 23, but can you get within £2 of the actual price?
I'm going to say it's £13.
£7. I think that might
£7?
be in the sale price as well. Yeah. Next then, a troll headpiece. Yeah.
To be honest, I think buying that you're just chucking your money down the toilet.
Next then, a troll headpiece for a dog. So if you've ever heard or seen of the recent Troll movies by DreamWorks, it's basically the hair of a troll that you can put on your dog. So is it higher or lower than £7?
Higher or lower than £7? I thought that'd be higher. £7, surely.
Really? Wrong. No, it's lower. So can you get within £2?
Well, I'm going to say I'm going to help it. I'm going to say £5.
Well done. £4. There you go. So you managed to get yourself 1 point. Okay, so far.
Out of a possible how many?
I'm not sure at the minute. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Number 4, little plastic dog back end magnets sold by Urban Outfitters, and you got a set of 6.
A little plastic dog back end magnet.
Yeah, higher or lower than £4? Like fridge magnets of dogs' back ends that stick out from the fridge.
Right. Sorry, I thought you meant a magnet that you put in your dog's back end and it sort of sticks it to something. I'm going to say depends how many you get in a pack, but it doesn't sound very expensive. But it must be higher than £4. Yeah, if it's 6 in a pack.
So what are you going to say? Higher or lower? Higher. Well done. And how much do you think exactly? Can you get within £2 of the right price?
I'm going to say £12.
£6. Okay, so no points for that one, but well done. You get in there now. Next then, so multicolour toilet night lights. Make your toilet bowl glow any colour you like. Is this going to be higher or lower than the £4? I think I said that wrong anyway. No, the £6, sorry. Higher or lower than the £6 we just had?
Well, I think if you buy this product, Jimbo, you're just chucking money down the toilet.
You know you've already used that joke.
I do know I've already used that joke. Yeah, I'm hoping you've got some more toilet-related things so I can use the same joke again 3 or 4 times. I'm going to say that's going to be more than £6.
More than £6. Well done. You're correct. So you've got 3 points at the minute. Can you get within £2 of the actual price, sir? How much do you think multicolour toilet night lights were that made your toilet bowl glow any colour you like?
I'm going to say the same as last time. I'm going to say it's £12.
£12. Nah, you're wrong. £8. Yeah. Some get some bargains here. There's some ideas for you for Christmas, Fisher. Next then. So a 9-inch Yoda nutcracker.
9-inch Yoda, so presumably it cracks your nuts.
He's basically wearing a Santa outfit.
Yeah,
that's £8.
It's going to be higher, I think, isn't it?
Well done. I mean, I'd like to do a Yoda joke here, but I think I told it last week, so I'll probably not.
Think you did, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so how much do you think exactly then?
I'm going to say £12 is it?
How much?
£12. So
saying £12.
£12 again. Yeah, until we get £12, I'm just not going to bother saying anything else.
No. £29.
£29, really?
For a Yoda nutcracker.
Yeah, that's crackers.
9 inches though.
There we go.
Yeah.
Makes you show off Yoda.
9 inch with some nuts, of course. Next then, build your own twerking robot kit. Lower or higher than £29 for the Yoda nutcracker? Yeah, build your own twerking robot kit.
Well, I think this could go one of a couple of ways, really. I mean, it could be really good, or obviously it could be really rubbish. Now, I think it's going to be a bit rubbish and not very good, so I'm going to say it's going to be less than the price of the Yoda.
Well done. How much do you think exactly?
I'm not going to say £12. Although you've got a grin on your face that suggests it might be £12. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 24 quid.
Nah. £19. Okay. Next then, Harry Potter Triwizard Cup replica trophy. Higher or lower than £19 for the twerking robot kit?
So just a trophy. I mean, that's not. I can't say
Harry Potter Triwizard Cup replica trophy.
Are you a Harry Potter fan at all? Have you read the Harry Potter books?
I'm not particularly a Harry Potter fan, although I do have the Harry Potter box set sat on my desk for some reason.
Right.
And I think that's basically down to the fact that I needed something to prop up my iPad at some point, so I found that.
It doesn't sound like such a good. I mean, to be fair, it might just have appeared there, your Harry Potter DVDs, but I think that I can't see that the Triwizard Tournament trophy replica will be that impressive, so I'm going to say lower.
You're going to say lower than the build your own twerking robot kit?
Yeah.
You'd be wrong. Next then, oh no, we need to guess how much.
I need to guess the price.
How much is it going to be? The Harry Potter Triwizard Cup replica trophy. We know it's more than £19.
I'm going to say 25 quid.
And you would be incorrect. Sorry. It is actually £38. Next then, really? Christmas scented dog poo. Lower or higher than the Harry Potter Triwizard trophy, which was £38. Christmas scented dog poo.
Well, I think you probably need to give a few more details as to what that is.
It's dog poo scented like Christmas. You know, like you get scented candles. It's dog poo that's been scented.
Well, it's pretty fake, obviously. Almost fake turds you used to get from joke shops.
No, I don't know. It just says Christmas scented dog poo. I don't know if it had been fake, but I think it was more than like a spongy type thing.
Well, you can't. Well, it's not real, obviously.
Like sponge or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kids' sort of slime that you get.
I'm going to say lower.
You think it's lower than the Harry Potter Triwizard Cup trophy?
Yep.
Okay, and you would be correct. Well done. How much? If the trophy was £38?
Can't be much, can it? I'm going to say 7 quid.
Nope, £35.
£35?
£35. Next then, scented workout enhancing gel that causes you to sweat more, so presumably burn off more fat. Higher or lower than the Christmas scented dog poo, which was £35?
Okay. There was a 5-star review on this from a Mr. Prince Andrew, wasn't there?
That's it.
Makes you sweat. No, I don't think anyone wants to sweat more. So I would say that is, I could say lower.
So you think it's lower? Well done. £20.
Fun.
So
I need to guess it.
I've already given you the thing, haven't I? Sorry about that.
I'm gonna say £19.
Next then, a half torso pillow. So it's like a pillow with an arm that you can lay on for it. So it's got like a hug type sensation. So it's like you're laying on the arm of a loved one, or you can wrap the arm around you. So it's basically like a boyfriend pillow or a girlfriend pillow. Yeah. Higher or lower than £20?
I think higher. I think that might be quite valuable. I think people might want to buy this.
Okay.
Because as well, I think it might be popular for both parties in the relationship, because someone obviously gets hugged and the other party doesn't have their arm crushed by someone staying on top of them. Jimbo's heading off, obviously. So, tell you what, I'm glad eventually he's gone at last. Is he going to get this very pillow out or not?
Sorry, I just went for a hug.
Okay.
So just a light. I don't know if you noticed.
No, not particularly. I'm going to say that is more than £20.
So how much then? Oh, well, sorry, you say more, first of all. Yep. Hold on, I've lost my place here. Right, okay, correct. Well done. So how much then? It's above £20, we know that.
I'm going to say £28.
Oh, no, 22. £22. Next then, A can of unicorn meat.
Well, unicorns don't exist.
Higher or lower than £22?
Lower.
Lower. Correct. And just to give you what it is, it's actually inside. It's a broken up stuffed toy of a unicorn. So it's like you pull it out and it's pieces to a unicorn. It's like in a can of what looks like kind of food or whatever. So
yeah.
How much do you think then? If it's lower than £22, how much do you think that would have been?
£13.
Oh, just off. £10. I think you've got about 8 points so far, by the way. Next then. So that's the unicorn meat. A mug to drink out of that you've got to assemble yourself out of Lego. Higher or lower than £10?
Higher.
Higher. Incorrect. So how much do you think?
£7.
£7. Well done. You're on 9. Okay. So, a set of brainwave-controlled cat ears. Apparently, the ears' movements are controlled by your emotions. Okay, so it's like some ears that you put on, and you put headphones on, and I think you've got like a mouthpiece, and the ears move depending on your emotions and so on. Okay. So, how much? Higher or lower than £8?
I think this is the kind of thing that people will buy and pay money for, because stuff like that, people are happy to spend money on it. So I'm going to say higher.
Well done. And how much do you reckon?
I would actually like to make the point that surely it is a complete and utter load of rubbish, but I think people will pay £18 for that.
Okay, you ready for this one? £71.
Really?
£71. Okay. Next one then. A vodka-scented candle. Higher or lower than £71?
I'd be lower that, won't it? Surely. Unless it's massive.
Correct. Well done. How much exactly? Lower than 71?
Depends what kind of candle it is, really. Depends what kind of candle it is, but I think maybe 25 quid. I think you can spend quite a lot of money on some of these woodwick candles and whatever.
It's not a bad guess. It's £32. But what do you think of vodka-scented candle? How do you imagine that being?
Well, I'd imagine it would smell like vodka, in all honesty, but then vodka doesn't really have much of a smell to it, does it?
Apparently not. So, anyway. Number 16.
Is that an indication that might be the one that you've made up?
I wasn't saying anything. I was just wondering what the smell might be like. Next then, number 16. An insulting potato kit. This is a bunch of wires and some sort of monitor that you stick into and strap onto any potato, and then the potato basically starts to fire insults at you. So how much would this have been? Higher or lower than £32?
Well, it's got to be technology, don't it? More, higher. It's going to be higher.
Lower. So if it's lower than £32, how much are you going to go for?
Oh, wait, must only be £21 then.
It was actually £29. I think you thought I had said something different then, didn't you? Did you think I said 30? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So next, number 17, beer, bacon, and wasabi flavoured sweets. Higher or lower than £32 for the vodka-scented candle?
Hang on. Well, we got lost here. It wasn't vodka-scented candle. What was the last one we had?
Sorry, the insulting potato kit at £20.
I'm going to say lower.
So you think lower? Correct. Well done. And what about how much is the price? If it's lower than £29, how much do you think it's going to be?
I think it's only going to be cheap, so I think it's only going to be £7.
Wrong. £15. Next then, I'm getting there now. Number 18, inflatable breakfast for a swimming pool, which includes an inflatable egg float and inflatable bacon float. Higher or lower than £15 sweets?
That sounds quite expensive, really. I mean, so I'm going to say, it's quite a few floats there, so I'm going to say it's going to be more than that. And obviously, some of these items are, but yeah, I'm going to say higher.
Well done. You're on 13 points, by the way. How much exactly then do you think? If it's higher than £15, How much do you think it's going to be? The inflatable breakfast for swimming pool, which includes inflatable egg float and inflatable bacon float.
£29.
And you would be incorrect. Not far off. £23. Number 19 then, world's largest gummy bear, which is equivalent to 1,400 bears. And that's gummy bears, not actual bears. Higher or lower than £23?
Higher.
You think higher?
Yeah.
Correct. You can pick it up for £15, or you could have at the time.
Oh.
So there you go. And how much? I've already told you the answer, so we're not going to do that one. Sorry, Fisher. Final
15.
one then. Number 20. Marilyn Monroe's costume for your dog.
Higher
or lower than £15?
I think dog clothes. People spend a lot of money on the dogs, so I'm going to say it's going to be higher.
Well done, yeah. How much exactly do you think? If it's higher than £15?
21 quid.
Well done. £23. So you got there just in there. So yeah. So you finished then, Fisher, with 15 points. I'm not exactly sure how many you would have been able to get. I think you probably maybe just scraping half marks, possibly.
Well, I think. Well,
but you've got some bonus points to get now.
Well, so presumably it's out of 39, isn't
it? If there's 20 questions,
40.
yeah, true. So yeah, about halfway, yeah. But you can pick up some bonus points here, Fisher, because I asked you at the start which of those items was completely made up and which of them do you think is no longer on sale?
Which one's made up? I think the thing the way you don't sweat.
You think that's made up?
Yeah, I think that's made up.
Sorry, missed out on your bonus point there. And what about, before I tell you the answer, what about the one that's not on sale anymore?
Well, I think another one that sounds fairly implausible to me is the world's largest gummy bear.
The world's largest gummy bear. No bonus points for you, Fisher. So the item that was made up was the Christmas-scented dog poo.
Well.
That was completely made up. I thought you might go for the vodka candle, because yeah, that's an odd one, because vodka hasn't really got a smell. Really. It's a very kind of like fumey smell, if anything. It's not really got that smell. And the one that's not on sale anymore is the insulting potato kit.
Really?
I had to actually make up that price because I couldn't find the price for it because it was just no longer on sale. But it was an item, a real item. So there you go.
So you made up a price, but you still might be wrong for
it. Yeah, but no, it was a higher or lower though, weren't it? That you were getting the points for.
As well as guessing the price as well. That's a bit mean, isn't
it? Anyway, have you got any Christmas ideas there? Is anything off that list that you'd like as a gift? Anything that you do like the sound of?
Not particularly, in all honesty. But we've had that many. I can't quite remember what was what. Sorry, what was that?
Do you eat nuts?
I do, but I don't need a 9-inch Yoda to crack my nuts with. What's the strangest thing you've bought on Black Friday then, Jimbo?
I don't think I've really bought anything strange, really. Possibly maybe fancy dress costumes. We're getting close to Christmas, maybe.
Well,
I did once, and this was in the early days. I managed to get. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
You're not going to tell me what you got?
No.
Is it a present for me?
No, maybe I might use it to show and tell item one day.
Okay. Well, I suppose the other question then could be, have you ever bought anything that seems very unusual to get a Black Friday offer on?
No, not particularly, I don't think.
Because I got something a couple of years ago. It was a very bespoke item. It was, if you're in, what you can do is if you live in a certain place, you can get an Ordnance Survey map of where you live. You go on the Ordnance Survey map, type your postcode in, and it'll give you a map with your postcode being the centre of that location. And I ordered some of those from some family members who live a bit sort of out in the countryside. There's a lot of kind of walking place you can do around that, and we ordered some Ordnance Survey maps for them. And we got a Black Friday deal on that, which I thought was a bit strange. Surely you either want one of these maps or you don't. And bear in mind, they print them to order. It's not as though they've got a big bank of stock that they're trying to get rid of. So I thought it was a very strange thing to do.
Yeah, that is odd.
Yeah. Also, I've seen it before with kind of bespoke kit for certain places that you can only buy it from one place that have also had offers on as well, which seems a bit strange to me. But there we go.
That is a bit strange. I did see while I was doing the research for this quiz that one of the items, because this article, one of the articles that I found that was talking about these weird Black Friday sale items was from, I think, last Christmas. And they'd put in the article that weirdly, in 2018, Amazon they'd put an offer on some face coverings, face masks that only let much filtration through and so on. And that was in 2018. Don't want to make out to be a conspiracy theorist, but did Amazon know about this?
I don't know.
But you'd be laughing if you was one of those few people who thought, you know what, look at this offer, I'm gonna get them. Imagine.
Yeah. As I say, and if you had bought one early doors, then obviously you could have been in line to actually get a PPE contract to supply these to the rest of the country, given your knowledge and expertise on the subject.
Exactly.
Particularly if you owned a pub near Matt Hancock, for example. Are you making a suggestion that Amazon made the whole thing up, and as a result, Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, has become the richest man in the world?
I'm not.
Sorry, he has become the richest man in the world, hasn't he?
Richard, do you know we're going to get shot if you're not careful what we say?
Could be. That'd be a hell of a way to end the episode, wouldn't it?
Podcast will no longer be available on Amazon Music.
Oh, I forgot we're on there. Yeah. There we go. So thank you very much for that quiz, Jimbo. Very good.
I suppose just a reminder. We've been talking about Black Friday, and Cyber Monday. Shop local. Try and support local and small business where you can.
Can you not remember the Black Friday agreement, where it's but
go on, you can keep going.
No, I was going to say, can you not remember the Black Friday agreement where Tony Blair sort of bought really cheap items to Northern Ireland? So I said, let's get everyone some really cheap products. We'll bring you big discounts on the Black Friday agreement, and we'll bring you cheap. Eventually, you'll get really cheap items on the internet.
There we go. Thank you for listening to us today and watching us. If you've been watching live or whatever, or however you've been taking this in, whether you're in your car, whether you're in the office, working from home, whatever you're doing, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tweet us at Waste of Webspace. wasteofwebspace.co.uk is our website address. Facebook as well, Waste of Webspace. There's Instagram, there's everything. And keep an eye on our website, wasteofwebspace.co.uk, because on Tuesday, Advent Calendar Day, first day, we're going to be starting to put our videos out there. Short little video snippets. They'll be packed full of unuseful information and stupid jokes. But anyway, it'll be quite fun, won't it, Fisher? We've got some good plans. Well, we haven't got to plan it, but anyway.
We've got no plans at all at the moment, but we'll do it. There we go.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Jimbo. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.